Okay, let's talk about Conan Exiles. And this is a great way to start. It's actually not, but I wanted you guys to see this. This is how my game loaded up. I think it's still loading, but I had the hardest time to get this game even started to do this review. So this is my weekend review. I've played this quite a bit. I have 3 different sets of characters. I think this is my second one that I was playing. You can see the lag we're having. So I'm not sure how much of it's a server problem on our end versus, I don't know, the game somehow. So let's see if I'm going to even be able to walk. I appear to be unable to walk. So this is relevant. But let's start at the beginning. I had 2 problems with this game right out of the gate. One, the tutorial, which you see in the top right portion of the screen where it says Master Chef. It's actually got a very good tutorial system, which I really like, except the first time I played it, it stalled out on gathering plant fibers, which is very early. Like, it's in the first 5 minutes playing the game. And it said to gather 3 plant fibers, easy peasy. And I would go over to a plant and gather the fibers. It would say on the screen, you've gathered fibers, congratulations, but it wouldn't advance the tutorial. So I got stuck on the tutorial, didn't know what to do, kept playing the game, kind of got frustrated, didn't enjoy the game. Plus you had all of this like laggy kind of stuff going on that you can see right now. So that was not good. Second thing is that I didn't know what kind of game I was playing. I thought I was playing something like World of Warcraft, where, you know, it's got role-playing game elements to it, multiplayer. The whole reason I got into this game was that some future LARPing buddies were playing this, and I thought, well, that sounds like fun. I own the game. I should play the game. And so anyway, got off to a rough start with this game. Still, it's a little janky, and I enjoy the single player game a little more than the multiplayer game, just because of the lag. And I don't know if that's art. I'm trying to open this door. It shouldn't be that hard to open a door. Now I will say, so I thought I was playing World of Warcraft, basically, and boy, is this not World of Warcraft. Apparently it's something called a survival game, which I have never played before, and I think it was pretty obvious. I mean, I've got a lot of videos for a video of the week, but it's because I kept having to restart. Like once, I wasn't advancing the tutorial, so I restarted. But I realized that was the problem. Realized how to get past that. You have to actually like take enough plant fiber to kill the plant, and I wasn't doing that. So, which it did not say I needed to do, just for the record. Okay, I'll get over it. No, I won't. So, it's a survival game. I didn't know that. Actually, if you go back and watch one of my first videos, I say, I don't want to play a crafter, because I always play crafter because I love crafting. This game is all about crafting. To me, coming to this genre from outside, having watched my kids play Minecraft, this is like a pretty Minecraft. I mean, it's very pretty. There are aspects of this game that I really like, especially once I figured it out and just let myself do what I wanted to do originally, which was craft. But I was like, oh, you always do that. This is a role-playing game. How about you actually do some role-playing? And I went down this, this whole rant about how, my player development. I was like, I'm gonna be the opposite of me. So I played a woman, and then I did like set, I think was serpent magic, because I don't usually play magic users, and I hate snakes with a passion. So that was like totally me role playing the opposite of what I naturally would want to do. What I naturally wanted to do and initially started to create was a guy who was gonna craft. No, eventually I figured out that I was playing the game wrong. It wasn't the game I thought it was, and then really enjoyed it. Like really enjoyed it. And still have a strong desire to play it, which means when you look at how I review things, like, and again, this is just my review, this is my experience, it's going to be different. Not everybody's going to get stuck on the plant fiber quest. But I do S tier for, well, Minecraft would be an S tier game. It just sort of not only created a whole genre, of which I think this is a part, but it's just a good game. You know, I grew up as a child playing Legos because we didn't have computer games. It's Legos for a computer. But this is not a Minecraft game. Anyway, S tier is for those genre, either a game that's just so good or like a genre defining game, you know, like Slay the Spire would be mine for roguelites and stuff like that. Okay, A and B is games I want to play again. This is clearly in the A-B category. I want to play this game. I don't, again, it's got too many flaws to be an S tier game for me. I mean, just trying to get the game started took me 15 minutes. Multiple times it kind of froze up, or it was a process just to get to the point where I could do this review. And even now it's laggy. Again, I don't know if that's our server. Problem could be on our end, but I don't know, man. Even when I was playing it, it was better when I was playing it locally. I think if I wasn't wanting to play with other people, I would have a very, very strong preference for locally played games, just to not have the lag. So anyway, but it has, you can see this game has some nice aesthetic stuff. Like, I have gone out and purchased some DLC that lets me, I forget who, Aquilonian, I'm gonna guess. The Conan knowledge is from the deep past. A lot of Conan books in the back of an old Ford LTD, 72, I believe. 75? No, I think it was a 75 Ford LTD with the wood paneling on the side. Classy station wagon. Eventually was taken, used in a demolition derby, and when we gave it to the guy, he was stoked because it was a monster. All right. Anyway, so there's some nice. I like the DLC. Like, if you go and look in my little house here, we'll start. I originally was building. See, there's the lag. Was originally like, this was my little abode that I originally built. So yeah, now I'm trying to close the door, and it shouldn't be that hard to close the door. You can see I have a few of the Aquilonian. I'm going to call it Aquilonian. I might have the wrong kingdom, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. Like, I'd like to do more of that. And then there's my workshop. But you can see in there I've got some Aquilonian, again, not sure, but I think Aquilonian lights hanging up there. Like, it's kind of the kind of game I like. I'm really torn because, to me, this is an A-level game with B-level implementation. Like, this is a really good game that is just so frustrating sometimes. And it's not frustrating because of the gameplay. Like, I'm fine, like, if I go into the wrong sector and die to some ginormous monster that one-shots me. Like, that's fine. That happens. Okay, whatever. And that has happened several times. But the frustration is just dumb stuff like, why does it take me 15 minutes to log on? Or why does it take me 3 or 4 tries to open a door? There's a lot to learn. Like, if you go into, I gotta remember how to get to it here, the journeys. You know, I feel like I've done a lot of tutorial, but look how many there are. You can see the ones that I have completed have the little check marks. Look how many there are. I mean, that's a lot of tutorial, folks. And each one of those is not small. For example, let's just click on Cartographer. These are the different journey steps, you know, and find these, I'm assuming, different places or people. That's a lot. That's a lot to do, but it gives you a purpose for starters. Even though I don't really need one, like, I love these kind of open world games where you can kind of create your own purpose. And I love all the crafting stuff where you can, like, I've left these things, to cook, and it made like 228 bricks for me, you know, and there's all these little different crafting things. And you don't have to hang out by them. They work on their own. I didn't realize that at first. It was just like, oh, now I've got to sit in one spot while this crafts, and now I know that is not required. So, but like right now, like why am I struggling so much to get away there? Okay, it's a little janky. All right, so I think that's what I have decided, is that this for me is a B-level game that I want to play a lot, like more than most B-level games. It's an A. It should be an A, and I don't know if it's because they've, haven't. I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to say abandoned, but it's not getting regular DLCs and that sort of thing. I would love to see this expanded. It's got, I think, a couple of different worlds that you can play in, and correct me if I got that wrong, but it seems like there's maybe just 2. I wish there were 20 or more. I mean, really, I wish there were randomly generated ones, infinite number. And that, that's part of what's cool about Minecraft, right? Like, every world just has its own flavor, and I kind of wish that were true of this game. But the other thing is, like, I'm used to games where there's a lot of variety in terms of the type of character you can be. Like, I was going to be this set sorceress. I never learned how to cast a spell. I'm sure you can, but like, for a long time in this game, you just seem to be someone who goes around, builds things, and slashes things. Now, again, this isn't a role-playing game. This is a survival game. I didn't know that. So I'm getting really into the character design, thinking I'm going to be this sorcerer, and I never cast a single spell. So, know what you're getting into, I suppose, would be part of it. But it's a good game for what it is. I wish it were still supported and expanding, and because I still think I'll keep an eye on some of the DLC, because I've really enjoyed, since it's a crafting game, it's really fun to craft stuff that has a certain national flavor or cultural flavor. And there's a fair amount of DLC out there, but it's not super cheap. There's not what I would call a cheap game at this point, but it's neat, and I will keep an eye on that and see if there's an opportunity to get some of that DLC on sale at some point. So it's a good game. I mean, I'm not going to say don't play the game. As a matter of fact, you can play this game if you like this game, which I think a lot of people will. You can play it a lot. Like, it's not a cheap game, but you can get your money's worth. You could definitely get your money's worth out of this game. So the combat, it's fine. I mean, it's not there's I think there's some strategy to it. There's probably a lot of strategy to it that I don't know yet, and I hate to even enter combat in this server situation, because I think I would just get honked, because I would freeze up, which is, not fun. Let's see if we can go real quick, just, in case you haven't played the game and want to see what the combat looks like. This is combat by a guy who's not very good at the combat, so take that for what it's worth. I don't think these guys get mad at me. We'll find out if they get mad at me. I kind of like some of the creatures and whatnot. Yeah, they're not. I don't think they are. They're gonna aggro on me. All right, let's go over this way here. I know there's some that don't like me over here. I don't know if that's animosity that I deserve because I have not been kind to them, or if it is because that's just how they are. But they definitely come after me every time. It's a fun game as you're going around looking for different resources. So that's been one of my favorite things, because on the map, if you look at the big map, you can mark where the resources are, and you can see this. I'm on my little ironstone circuit right now, where I go grab some ironstone, so I can make iron bricks and all sorts of cool stuff with that. We'll see here if they get mad at me. I'm pretty sure they will. Now, if you hit the Q, which I did not know initially, it will target. See, a little hard to. Oh, I don't even have a weapon out. Let's get a weapon out. Let's get a shield out. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're back in business. So anyway, like, the combat's not overly sophisticated. I'm sure there are levels, right? Like, I'm not a high level fighter here. It's not a game I would play for the combat at all. Like, if it was just the combat, not the crafting, see you later. But the crafting is cool, right? Like, I'm gonna harvest this corpse, and you see that, or you would have seen if my face weren't over it, that I got a bunch of skins and stuff, which is cool. And we'll just, because this is a crafting game, we'll just kind of go up here and, like, sometimes there's eggs here. I don't see any right now, but sometimes you can grab some eggs. So in each of the games I've played so far, I've ended up with a crafting run that I do where I know I can get the most. A lot of times at this level, it's built around gathering ironstone and coal and things like that. So if I pull out my pick and I see some ironstone over there, you know, I can go harvest the ironstone. And I kind of enjoy doing all that. So it's not a chore for me. Now, maybe some people would view it as a chore. I think a lot of what happens is building out your economy, you know, so that it's not a pain. And I think you can get what are called thralls, which basically are people that support you, whether that's in combat, or I think they can support you with crafting or improve your crafting and that sort of thing. I have not gotten to that stage yet. This is a very long game. You can easily get your money's worth out of this game if you enjoy it. Again, not cheap, but I am like so glad that I bought some DLC that had visual appeal to me. This is kind of like, I think of this as sort of the Roman DLC. The other thing that I've heard, I haven't really experienced this yet, but is that your character, even when you log out, is still in game, meaning that, you know, you could be killed or something like that. And since I am on a server with other people, so this is a very lightly populated server. There's not a lot of people on it, but I think they can come up and still like grab my stuff if they want, or kill me and take stuff. So I haven't had that problem. I think part of it is that I'm on a server with A, very few people, and B, really nice people from what I can tell by watching the Discord. So anywho, I'm just going to go back from whence I came. It's kind of fun. You can see the visuals in the background as my castle popped over as I got closer to it. And I've got some fishing stuff out front that you can see there. A couple of traps, one for fish, one for, I want to say crawfish, but it's just crabs and that sort of thing. Reminds me of the old crawfish traps we used to use in my youth. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's a fun game. It's a survival game, which is a new genre for me, but it's a genre I have enjoyed. I really enjoy the genre. If there's other like really good crafting games, like let me know, because it's a genre I'd like to play more of. But for right now, Conan scratches that itch. It's an itch I didn't know I had, but I definitely have it. Like I want to go build a big cool castle. Like I restarted another game after this on locally, so that I didn't have to depend on the server, because I really felt the ping was hard to deal with and frustrating. I should just say frustrating is what it was. And like the whole first part of it is me picking the ideal spot for my castle, because I don't know, it's kind of fun. Who doesn't want to build their own castle, right? I mean, oh, is that out? No, that's not out. I mean, you know, you got to maintain my castle here. All right, so I'm going to give it a B. I think it's an A game, but I'm going to give it a B because of the implementation, and I wish it were still supported. We were going to get some more good stuff out of it, but it might be like the highest B I've ever given. So, all right, like, comment, subscribe. If I play a game each week and post a review of it, I probably played Conan a little more than a week, which is a compliment to Conan. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day, great life, play great games, and have fun. We'll catch you later.